Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tandy. Thank you for tuning into today's Makeup and Politics video. Now, if you're new here, how the heck are you? Makeup and Politics is a series on my channel where I talk about topics that are considered touchy or impolite to discuss, mainly dealing with the BIPOC community. If you don't know what the BIPOC community is, that's Black Indigenous People of Color. I discuss these topics all while doing my makeup. So if this sounds like something that you can get jiggy with, I highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel and hit the post notification bell so that you can be notified of my future upload. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. I got the intro out of the way. I'm still kind of working on that. You know what I mean? As you can see, I still have on my makeup because I'm so tired right now. It's actually going to be skincare and politics because I literally just got off of work and I'm not about to take off my makeup just to put it back on, just to take it back off and get in the bed. You feel me? If you hear this water, bucket of water right here in front of me. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about code switching. Code switching. Like any other video, we're going to break this down into a couple different main talking points. So my first talking point, telling you guys what code switching is. People may not know what code switching actually is. Side note, it feels so good to take off my lashes. It almost feels just as good as taking off a wig or a bra. But yeah, code switching is just basically switching between two different languages within a conversation. So obviously this is between two people who understand said languages, right? Now, an example of code switching would be like people who speak like Spanglish. You ever have talked to somebody who speaks Spanish, but they also know English? They'll like talk to you in English, and then they might like get so excited that they might blurt something out in Spanish.
¿Cómo te sientes? Pues me siento muy orgullosa de estar aquí con todos ustedes y me siento muy excited.
That's code switching. Same thing for AAVE, which is African American Vernacular English. Say, for example, myself, because I'm a Black woman. I'm talking to another Black woman. We might be, let's say, in a professional setting, right? We're at work. But then, we really relate and like are vibing in the conversation. And then, we might code switch and I might throw in a whoo girl. Because period. You know what I mean? Like, that's code switching as well. So code switching doesn't necessarily have to be a totally different like foreign language, if that makes sense. It can also be, colloquialisms between different communities. I think when talking about code switching, we can't not talk about why people do it, because there's a number of reasons why people code switch. One of the main reasons for people code switching is so that they can more effectively communicate with the person that they're having a conversation with. This is very much, true, especially when you're dealing with people who, are, let's say, immigrants to this country. English may not be their first language, or they may be around a group of people who English is their first language. And, they might just get so excited that they just can't figure out the word, or they don't know the word at all. Let's keep it all the way a buck. Do y'all see how well this face cloth got my face clean? Honey, you see it, okay? You need to get you one of these. I'm just saying. I got to plug myself in on my channel, okay? Because period. If you don't promote yourself, then who will? But yeah, code switching is definitely something that I think is really prevalent in America, simply because, we're a melting pot of so many other different cultures. Oftentimes, the message might get lost in translation because, people understand more than one language here. You might not be fluent, but you understand a little bit of another language simply because it's a necessity when you're living in the United States. So now that we know why people code switching and who code switches, right? Why am I bringing it up on Makeup and Politics, right? Well, it's a problem to code switch to some people. And I don't understand why, because to a certain extent, we all code switch. You can even break it down at its most like minute level and argue that code switching occurs in the workplace, okay? Whether you speak English or not, If you're speaking to your boss, you're going to put on your professional voice, let's say you're getting a phone call back about a job or some kind of business opportunity. You're going to put on your professional voice. You're not going to talk the same way to a business opportunity as you are to, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, somebody that you are more comfortable, more lax with. So I don't see the problem with code switching. I know I do. I mean, I might not be totally fluent in another language, but I definitely code switch. So I don't know. It's just weird to me that people get their panties in a bunch over people who speak other languages. Like, you know how many times I done heard people say, oh, and when I'm at the nail salon, this is no shade, okay, all tea. Asian people start to speaking. I don't know what they saying. I know they talking about me. Sis, they probably not even like worried about you. You feel me? They probably just passing by the day, just like you do with your coworkers. You know what I mean? Now, maybe they are. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you got to give people the benefit of the doubt and allow them to be comfortable in their own space. I feel like it's just weird to me that people feel threatened by people who code switch when we all do it. Does that make sense? Now, one of my other talking points about code switching is cross-cultural code switching now. Brace yourself, okay? Because it's a big mouthful for basically, okay, I'll use myself as example. White people, okay, they oftentimes perceive my demeanor harsh, brash, aggressive, all these different adjectives that equate to negative, right? In their culture, it's not acceptable for, especially a woman, to have an opinion, to be so assertive. You feel me? Whereas, my culture, in Black culture, no, say that shit, sis. Say that shit with your chest, because period. Like, don't be trying to let nobody get over on you, all right? Like, that's how I was raised. So, all I have to say, it's exhausting, okay? Expose yourself to different cultures and understand that nobody is here to soothe your ego or to make you feel comfortable. Like, no, nobody owes you that. I would even argue so much as to say, like, even your family doesn't owe you that. Like, chill the out, you feel me? Just like you want to feel comfortable in a situation, so does that other person. And they also have the right to freely express themselves without judgment. So with that being said, I want to talk about why you shouldn't be upset by someone who code switches, whether that's code switching their behavior or code switching, their language. There's a movie based off of a book, Sorry to Bother You by Boots Riley. I highly recommend that you guys check that one out. The movie has Lakeith Stanfield in it, and y'all know Lakeith is low-key that dude, so definitely check out that. It'll put all of this into perspective a lot better than I could ever articulate. Got my eye mask on, and while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go in with some serum on my face. This is the Dior Essence of Light. But on another note, did you guys know that studies show, like they've literally done research on this, but studies show we're less likely as Americans, we're less likely to believe something from someone with an accent. So I just think that like the bias is real. My main point for discussing this topic today is just to kind of have an open discussion. Please weigh in on how you feel about this topic in the comments below. That's what these videos are for, so that we can have, an open discussion and grow as a people, because we need to check our own bias. I'd be lying if I didn't say that sometimes these biases don't, come across my own mind, and I have to check myself. Like, we have to check our own bias. And my camera stopped recording, but I went ahead and took my patches off because it was time. But I literally just was talking to you guys like without the camera recording. Love that for me. Anyway, we have to check our own bias. We are literally setting ourselves back further and further as a society if we don't. Like when I saw that fact, that very fact of Americans are less likely to believe something if it's said in a foreign accent, I had to check myself because I was like, ooh, I think I do that sometimes too. And that's just so crazy because myself being a black woman, like black people get discriminated against by the way that they talk all the time. So why would I do that to somebody else? You see what I'm saying? Like holding myself accountable, because we all need to hold ourselves accountable. And I'm myself included, you know? Black people are already stereotypically perceived as being less educated. So when you enunciate or lack thereof your English words, you will be discriminated against. People will think that you are, once again, that stereotypical black person. But then there's also a catch-22 though, okay? And I'm about to hit y'all with it. If you articulate yourself, it's also perceived as, oh, why are you talking white? Excuse me? Talking white? What does that even mean? I know myself, I've been victimized of this critique as well.
Why are you speaking like a white girl?
How am I supposed to sound? Like, what does a black girl sound like? You want me to be a stereotype? Or do you want me to articulate myself in a way that I can actually get ahead in life? Make it make sense. You feel me? I think as a black community, I think it falls back into self-love. My people. Loving ourselves means loving the way that we express ourselves to one another. We're a very diverse community, and that's why we're the blueprint, okay? When you say things like, oh, you're acting white, stop that, you do understand that risks formalizing a hierarchy between traditional white versus blacks. Do you get that? Because it's real, okay? By you saying, oh, you're acting white, that makes it seem like black people don't act professional, like black people aren't supposed to, which keeps us down here. If we want to elevate, we have to stop saying things like this, okay? Need a little bit of lip balm because mama's lips is gonna be dry because I wore some lipstick today, honey, for the first time in a really long time. Yeah, no, we definitely got to do better because we're setting ourselves up for failure, continued failure, and it's just not cool. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this, even though it was kind of different. Let me know if you like this style where I take off my makeup and kind of speak to you guys about these touchy topics. It kind of makes me a lot more vulnerable when you think about it, but maybe I'm just thinking a little too deep about the subject. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Okay, but the skin though, she's having a moment simply because I've been breaking out from these damn masks. Do y'all see this bun? Tell me this little donut bun ain't cute. Made me look like my hair is thick, knowing damn well it ain't. And what? It is now.